Now, I want to go back to the SEA Games, because I was there when Stefan took his took part in that competition. He's trained all year and he was very emotionally keyed up for that particular event. But still, when you had a situation where he fouled 4 out of his 6 jumps, isn't that disappointing for an athlete, for him to go out to the SEA Games and only have a 30% success rate in terms of jumping?
He overstepped 3 jumps. Last jump he just didn't complete. I think he was emotionally very high and overexcited for this competition, and that's why it happened. He lost his cool.
And obviously something can be done in that direction to make him a far better jumper than he is now.
We are aiming for 1650 this year, and in 2-3 years time 17 meters is possible.
Well, Valeri, you spoke about getting development into schools. I'd like to ask Hosni this question. What do you think we can do to get people sprinting earlier? What's the plan? Is that important to get kids running earlier?
Yeah, basically we are doing the same as what the jumps did. After YOG, it doesn't stop that. It's just going to continue towards the end of the year and continue to the coming year. And we are gearing for youth competitions, junior competitions. So there will be sort of like continuous competition for all age group.
Hosni, I stay with you. Do you think there's a potential sub 10-second sprinter here in Singapore?
Well, if the development is right, at the young age, the possibilities is endless. I mean, we've seen we heard people saying that nobody can go below 9.6, but Usain Bolt proved it wrong.
Right.
And we've seen Asian who's gone down below 10, and a lot of people say more likely it's going to take some time, but it's very proven. So for Singapore to go below 10, I think there's no reason there couldn't be anyone can do that. It should be someone there.
Well, Valeri said they're going to take jumping to schools now that don't have athletics. What concrete plans do you guys have to develop young talent after the YOG?
Okay, we have a lot of permit meet coming up, a lot of competitions coming up after the YOG. So we have age groups, and we have youth development program coming in also. So the competitions are catered for your age group. It's not going to be overrun. It's more on under distance so that they can develop nicely, and the season will just go on and on and on. There will be breaks in between, but it won't be that long. Like years before, we have breaks right after the national school, and there will be a long break until the next following year starts. This year, we're just going to go on, and the competition will be having sort of like every 1 month or every 2 weeks for age group to just come in and just rolling in to do competitions.
So they're keeping them active throughout the course of the year, then that's the plan?
Yes.
Alright, I'd like to ask you guys this, and with all the development, all the training that you guys have, Hamkah, maybe you can answer this one. We brought 6 sprinters at the SEA Games, but we settled for Gary, Elfie, Cheng Wei, and Amirulin. How was the selection of the final 4 made? As in, how did you decide that these are the 4 guys who are going to represent Singapore?
Okay, well, I think from what you know, I don't take the relay team as 4. If you ask me, I take my relay team is about 6. Because no matter who run the 4 and no matter who is the 2 reserve, they all one team. So if everybody asks me, hey, Hamkah, how many do you have? In fact, I can tell you I have 8. But for every competition I go overseas, I can only take 4. Okay, the best, the lineup that I had, that I put up in Vientiane, that was the best lineup on that particular period that I think this is a 4 that's going to do the job for me. That is going to do the job for Singapore.
And that's without Seng Song, who actually ran in the...
without Seng Song and without Izwan. In fact, 2 weeks before the Vientiane, Izwan was running the last leg, and we did a season's best. So many people think that, oh, okay, maybe with season's best, coach will want to decide. So I can tell you I'm very unpredictable, you know, because as far as I'm concerned, sometimes, okay, I use all the method that I can to like, for example, you know, their relay skills, their individual timing and all to help in my selection. But at the end of the day, sometimes they have to understand. Sometimes it's also my gut's feeling. At the end of the day, sometimes your gut's feeling to tell you this is the force going to do the job today. You know, based on anything, based on psychology, based on anything that, you know. I mean, for me, it's very. I think over the years that they have been working with me, I think they know. I play many different roles. I play father roles, brother role, coach, friends. So they know. You know, certain times I play friend with them. Certain times, so at the end of the day, this is my best lineup. This is what I think that on that particular moment, this is a team that can do the job for us.
Gary, I suppose you were a school sprinter or champion in your school?
No, I was a champion. I won eight divisions.
Yeah. So was it difficult for you personally, knowing that you were going to the SEA Games in Laos, to run just the relay? Was that difficult for you?
It wasn't very difficult because I had experience running as a relay also in the last SEA Games. So everything was just I was there to do my job. Yeah.
And what are your personal aspirations now as an individual sprinter? Are you going to think like, I still want to run faster, I still want to actually get into an individual event rather than just to be part of a relay team?
Of course, I believe all the four of us, or actually everyone in the relay team, hopes to be able to participate in the individual event. So we just want to, I just want to run well now, then compete the best competition, compete with the best, hopefully aim for the national record, both in the relay or individual.
I think I just want to add something, just quickly. I mean, from what Gary had just said, if they improve on their individual timing, it would be good for me. It helps me a lot. So the individual is more important as the relay. You see what I mean?
Well, we'll call it half-time for now. Time for the news. When we continue, we'll talk more on the development of our track and field athletes in Singapore ahead of the major games coming.
Thanks for joining us right here on SportsZone with me, Flip Go and Shamir Osman from the Today paper. Before the news, we were chatting with our four gentlemen here about athletics.
Well, we have former sprint kings and our both sprint coaches, Muhamad Hosni and Hamkah Afik.
And we also, yes, Hamkah had a hand in the training of the quartet that ran Singapore's first sub-40 relay in the 4x100 meters relay. We're delighted to have the opening leg runner with us on our show. He's Gary Yo, and with him, our national jumps coach, Valeri Obidko.
Well, I'd like to jump in right here about the psychology bit about this. Hamkah, you said you picked your boys on gut feeling, on seeing who's psychologically ready. And Valeri, you spoke about Stefan being not a bit too emotional during the jump at the SEA Games. So let me ask you this, Valeri, then how important is sport psychology to our athletes? Because Singapore athletes tend to fumble at the big occasion.
It's not only Singapore athletes fumble at big occasions. It sometimes happens. It happened with Buka at Olympic Games when there was no height. It happened.
Well, it's just happened with Ethan Baeva as well.
That 3 oversteps last Olympic Games. Yes, psychology, I agree. It's one of the parts of preparation for any big meets. But I believe when athlete is ready physically, no psychologist needed for it.
But we have a world record for the long jump that stood for an eternity. That was achieved in Mexico City with Bob Beamer. It was his very final jump as well, and he had a number of foul jumps, I believe.
It was his first.
It was his first jump.
His first jump, and after his first jump, it started raining. That's it. The competition was over. And
that was over 29 feet at that time, and that stood for an eternity. But we've also had instances in the past where jumpers have had a series of foul jump, and they find it within themselves to pull up that big one at the crucial moment. Is that possible to train that into an athlete, or do they have to naturally have that guts inside them?
Yeah, we have to train them. We have to train them, and as you say, Paul, they have to have a guts. Like, for example, my coach Victor Sanev, he was winning. He won 3 Olympic Games and 2 Olympic Games in his last jump.
Wow. Hosni, I want to bring it back to yourself and Hamkah, because 100-meter sprinters, they have a lot of attitude.
They do.
They always have